Hey guys, welcome back. It's new year and I want to show you guys what's in my bag. First off, I want to thank my sponsor, Team Gateway, for sponsoring me this year. So I'm bagging all Gateway right now. I'm just going to start off with my putters here. So right now I've been really liking and leaning on the Color Glow Warlocks. This is all new stuff to me, so this might change, but I'm not sure. But I've been really liking the feel and just the glide on my putts that I've been getting with these and the reliable fade at the end. So really good putters. Those are my putting putters. For throwing putters, right now I've got 5, but this is subject to change because I'm not 100% sure what's going to stay in and what's going to come out. For my most understable throwing putter, I've got a Magic. This is one of them. I'm not sure if it's going to stay in the bag. It'll be situational depending on the course. This is going to be my hyzer flip and turn. Anything I need turnover putter shots for approaching, I'll be using this year. Like I said, I'm still working with it, but I really like it. It's just, I have another putter that does that right now, and that's the Shaman. The Shaman holds any line. It's a really good hyzer flip up disc. Actually, I've gotten 2 aces at Bradley with this disc actually. Really good disc. This kind of replaced where I would throw a proxy. This kind of holds any line. If I put it on Annie, it'll hold. If I put it on hyzer, it'll flip up a little, but I can get it to stay on the hyzer or just dead straight. And then for my slightly more stable approach disc, this one doesn't really have much glide. Still working with this disc as well. This is the War Spear, but I'm hoping that I can beat this in to be a hyzer flip up that'll just stay straight and not have a whole lot of glide. It'll just sit where it's at. It's still fairly new, so it has a little bit more fade, but it's basically like a bird with more fade. Very comparable to that. Not a whole lot of glide. Really good approach putter. Right now I'm throwing a Diamond Metal Flake Wizard. Been really liking this run right here. Reminds me of my Sky God, something I can really hammer on. It'll stay straight and then fade, or it'll hold a hyzer. This thing's really reliable in wind as well, it being as stable as it is. I've been throwing this off the tee a ton. Been really liking this wizard right here. Next is a Houdini. This kind of replaced my Toro. It's like your Toro or Zones slot for approach putters. It's very nice and overstable. I can hammer on this thing on forehand and know it's gonna dump and not go too far on me. And on backhand, anything to get just left. Really loving this so far. It's been a workhorse and having fun just learning the disc. Right. And now moving on to my mid-ranges. I'm gonna start off with my most stable to my most understable. This right here is from AGL. This is a Beach. This kind of replaced that deflector slot, something longer than the Houdini, where if I can't reach the Houdini with, I'm gonna be able to reach this with. This thing is nice and overstable, reliable in the wind. I can really crank this, and even if it's too windy for the Houdini, I can really lean on this right here. It's a very nice forehand disc, loving it on flex shots and even backhands. I can really trust this thing to get right to left in a hurry. So I'm really liking this. Probably one of my more favorite molds, especially for forehand. It's just mainly going to be a forehand disc, but if I need it for backhands, it's there too. Next, I've got probably one of my favorite mid-ranges that I've picked up so far from Gateway. This is an amazing mold. Been really loving this thing. It's like my MD3 replacement, but maybe even just a little bit more fade. But this thing, it's a Diamond Prophecy. Can really crank it on a hyzer. I can really hammer on it and know it's just going to flip up flat. It's not going to turn right at all. There's no turning. It just stays straight and then it fades. One of the more reliable mid-ranges in my bag. I've been really leaning on this disc a ton and loving it. And even fights wind pretty well, so. This is a Super Glow Sure Grip Prophecy. It's pretty beat in. It hyzer flips, maybe turns a little bit, always comes back at the end. I haven't really been needing this disc lately, especially since I got these elements in. That's kind of what this was supposed to be, was in between this element and that prophecy. But I've learned that this one is actually stable enough to fill in for this slot right here. So I'm probably just gonna get another diamond prophecy and have that one beat in to be a little bit straighter with fade, and have that be where this is. But this, maybe not as flippy as this, but yeah, this one's kind of my more of when it's windy and I need an element shot shape, but it's probably not going to stay in the bag. And then I've got two elements. This one is a little bit more stable. I can throw this on a hyzer, it'll flip up. It doesn't really turn a whole lot. It just kind of stays straight, and then at the end of the flight it fades just a bit. Not as extreme fade as that prophecy, but it fades just a little bit. And that's why I think this one is just going to take place of that pink one. But I'm going to probably get another like metal flake diamond prophecy, just to have two prophecies and two elements. I'm really liking that combo right now. This is probably going to replace what I had an origin in for. Super straight, flip up, and it turns just a bit. It's not super understable yet, but I can use it for turnover shots. It really holds the anhyzer line. And if I can hyzer flip this to go straight with no fade at all. It doesn't fade really, it just stays straight. Been really liking this element. One of the farther flying mid-ranges I've ever thrown as well. Flies really, really far. Been loving the glide I've been getting out of these. I think that's it for mid-ranges. I will now go on to my fairway and control driver slot. So for my least stable, but definitely one of my favorites in my bag right now, is this double stamped spear. It's a diamond hemp spear. Been really loving this. This has replaced my FD. This is that hyzer flip up, is gonna turn and then come back. Get a really beautiful S-line out of this. I've been loving this disc. I can get this thing to do a ton of things. I can get it to hold on hyzer, flip up, go straight. I can get it to turn on me for turnover shots. Very controllable disc. Been loving this mold. Next, I've got a diamond metal flake Diablo. This is kind of replacing my PD, something I can hammer on a hyzer. It might flip up a little bit, but it's just going to go straight and then have a nice reliable fade on the end, or I can keep it on a hyzer and it'll stay on a hyzer. Been really liking the Diablo, the way it feels, the way it flies. Just, I can tell when this beats in, this is going to be a workhorse. And then I've got a Locust. So, funny story, I actually was trying to get a Diablo at the warehouse, and I picked this up, and it was in the same slot, so they were right by each other. And I felt this, and I really liked the feel of it, and so I went ahead and kept it in, and I've been loving this. This one turns a little bit more than that Diablo. It flips up, turns a little bit, but not too much. It kind of just has a hard finish at the end too, so it's been replacing that Tesla I used to have in the bag. Been really, really loving this mold. It's a great mold. It flies pretty far too. I think I threw it around 380 first time I threw it. Really, really excited about it. Been really loving this mold. Next, I've got two diamond blades. These are extremely flat topped, and I've been loving these for forehands. These fly pretty close to my FD3s or that Firebird slot. These are really stable for a blade. I've been really liking these. I've got a Team Gateway stamp, and you probably saw it on some of those. I have Team Gateway stamps on most of these molds. But yeah, these are flat tops, just really overstable, reliable in the wind. And yeah, I've been loving these. Can not wait for these to beat in. These are going to be also workhorses. On to the distance drivers. I believe I have 6 right now. Yep, 6. So I'm going to start off with my most overstable, work my way down. First off, I have a Spirit. This is in the diamond plastic. I've been really liking this. This is a reliably overstable, like a Metal Flake Max, maybe even more stable. Super utility disc. Been loving it for flex forehands, get out of trouble shots. Like just really overstable. This thing can fight 40 miles an hour of a headwind if it needed to. I mean, this thing is super stable, super reliable. Been really loving this mold. Next, I've got 2 spells. One of them is in the hemp diamond plastic. This one's pretty beat in. I've had this since before I was even on Gateway. And this is it kind of hyzers, maybe flips up a little bit, might turn a bit, but it always has that reliable overstable finish, that spell finish. It really fades, and it's really dependable in the wind. If I need a bomber, but I'm not quite comfortable with throwing the realms, I will throw this spell in a headwind. It's very trustworthy. I know it's going to come back. Even if it flips and turns all the way, I know it's always going to come back and fade. Really awesome disc. This one's a bit more stable than that one because it's brand new. It's a diamond one. If I throw it on a hyzer, it's going to stay on the hyzer. It's a really stable disc. It's not as stable as that Spirit. This is like if I need fade, but I need the glide. If I need to throw a 400-foot hyzer and I need it to stay on the hyzer, I can really trust this disc. I've been loving it. It's really good for sidearm as well. Like I said, really reliably overstable. I can flex it if I need to. I know it's going to come out of it. Really good disc. I've been really leaning on this one a little bit more than that spell in the winds because I know I'm going to get the fade out of this one. Next, I've got 3 realms. These 2 are an NXT. This one's in a diamond Metal Flake. I've had this one the longest. These 2 are fairly new. We'll talk about this one first. This one's pretty stable, close to that spell, but it flips up a little more. But it doesn't really turn that much, to be honest. Still fairly new. I need to beat it up, but I've been really liking this for control shots. When it's windy and I want to throw this realm, I'll probably be throwing this one. This is mainly going to be for backhands. Not a whole lot of forehands are going to be thrown with this. Can't wait to see what this turns into, but it's basically a longer version of that spell where I need a pushing hyzer, or maybe I can trust it flat or on flex shots. Really nice. Then next I got a flat top. This is pretty flat for a realm, but I'll use it for backhands. It's pretty similar to that one, maybe a little straighter. I've been mostly leaning on forehands. This is going to be a forehand disc mainly. Not going to be throwing a whole lot of backhands with it because that's what that realm's for. But for forehands, I've been loving this on a forehand. Reliably flips up, doesn't turn a whole lot, and just fades. Since I'm still working back on getting my forehand back, been really loving it for that. So this is probably just going to be my forehand realm. And then this is my most understable realm. I've had it the longest. This is the one I pull out if I need a bomb. I really love this realm. First time when I got it through round 480, just love the hyzer, flip up, reliable turn that I get out of it, and then it fades. It comes back at the end. I'm hoping eventually that blue NXT realm is going to be where this is, and this will become something that even in a tailwind, I can throw on a anhyzer, and it'll just hold the anhyzer the whole way, or I can hyzer flip it and it'll turn the whole way and not ever really come back. So yeah, I'm hoping that's what this will be for those long turnovers that never come back. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got in my bag for this year. Thanks for watching, and I will try to make more videos coming out this year.